What's up everybody, it's Brian for GadgetUnit.com, and this marks the very first vlog I've ever done. How exciting is that? So this is going to be the first vlog of 30 straight days of vlogging as part of something called VEDA, V-E-D-A, which stands for Vlog Every Day in April. And it originally started out as something for August, but since both months start with the letter A, April ended up being an extension of the original VEDA in August plan. So I figured I could try out something different. I don't really vlog or anything like that, but I thought that it might be interesting to try out and see how it goes. So all of this is sort of leading up to my big vacation in Hawaii. It's going to be a personal trip to Oahu for about 6-7 full days. So from April 22nd through April 28th. So I'll be flying out from San Antonio, short layover in LA before going straight to Honolulu. And then Friday the 28th, I'll be leaving with a 5-hour layover in LAX before coming back to San Antonio. So I thought that I would be able to vlog earlier in the month to sort of lead up to that nice trip, and I'll be hopefully taking you all along with me. And full disclosure, I think that I should be able to do these every single day, which is the whole idea of VEDA, but during the week it might be a little bit not quite so exciting because it's mostly me going to work all day, coming home at 6 to 6:30, eating, and then relaxing with either a little bit of hockey on TV or playing something on my computer or doing something else like that. So my weekdays aren't too exciting. There probably won't be a lot to show during those videos, but I think as an alternative, since I work in downtown San Antonio, right next to the Riverwalk, I can do little tours during my lunch hour to show you guys something interesting that I might be able to show you all. So it should be interesting, and I also plan on uploading these on a same day basis or next morning in the case of my vlogs in Hawaii, because for those I'll be rendering on a MacBook Pro, a dual-core MacBook Pro, so it's not the fastest thing in the world. So I actually tested out a automated script to where after a video is done rendering in Vegas, it would automatically upload to YouTube, complete with titles, descriptions, pretty much everything but the custom thumbnail option, since that's just not really possible through the automated method yet that I'm using. It's a command line tool that's cross-platform, which is cool, open source, which is also cool. So I tested that out for some unlisted videos and everything worked just fine. So for the vlogs in Hawaii, they should be uploaded the next morning, which is still pretty quick, I would say. And because they're uploaded so quickly, if there are any questions you guys have that you'd like me to answer in this video format, kind of like my Q&A videos that don't really do too well anymore, you guys can go ahead and leave them in the comments below for the previous day's video, and the next day I'll probably be able to address whatever it is that you guys asked. So that is the basic idea of what I'll be doing every day for the month of April. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just driving to Bill Miller Barbecue to get a 50-cent refill of unsweetened tea. I was gonna take my bike out to a park called McAllister Park, but I'm not really sure how well this is gonna show up on my little SJ5000X action cam. But it is kind of dark. It's supposed to rain at any point today, and it's a little bit breezy, so I figured I could just skip that today. The weather tomorrow is supposed to be worse, and obviously today is Saturday, April 1st, 2017. It's approximately 10:52 in the morning. So just gonna go ahead and get some tea real quick. I'm gonna be there in about 30 seconds or so. And I'm actually using a $10 lapel mic. I think it is a wired microphone because wireless options for phones are pretty expensive, and this was only 10 bucks on eBay. It came with a couple of foam microphone covers. It came with a couple of metal/plastic clips, which I'm using right now. And I think the cable is about 5 feet in length, so it's plenty long to connect to my phone, which is connected to my, or not connected, well, I guess in a way it is connected, but it is mounted to my windshield with a $2 windshield mount from eBay. Whoops, there's somebody behind me. I was going to back into the spot there, but there's somebody behind me. They're a little bit busy right now because they're still getting the breakfast crowd. Wow. As you can see, the drive-through is pretty packed right now, and I can't really go anywhere else, so I think I'm gonna be sitting here for a little while. So I guess I could talk a little bit more about my camera configuration. So as I mentioned, I'm using my SJ5000X action cam, which is recording the out of the windshield portion of the video. And I think having multiple angles is nice because I can switch between those whenever I want. And this Jeep is backing up. I think he's just going to go ahead and park it. But so I'm using that as one camera, and the camera you're looking out of right now is my Galaxy S7. So both the cameras are recording at 1080p 60 frames per second. And as I mentioned, I'm using the cheap $10 lapel microphone, and it looks like I'm going to be sitting here for quite a while. Now the quality of the microphone is actually, in my couple of small tests, it's actually pretty good. I'm speaking at a pretty decent volume right now in my enclosed truck, and looks like people are starting to move, so I'm gonna try and sneak out of here. I'm gonna park and then walk inside to get my refill because the refills are very quick. I don't wanna have to wait in line just to get that. So as I mentioned, the audio quality from the microphone isn't too bad. It's not as clear as I would like, so I'll probably have to go ahead and increase the treble a little bit in the equalizer, or at least the high end of the audio frequency. So let's go ahead and go in and get some tea. All right, so I just got out. I just got my unsweetened tea. When I first started getting 50-cent refills here almost every day, I started out getting sweet tea. And then after a while, I looked up the calorie count and the other nutritional information about sweet tea. And since I did it every day, I figured it would have been best to just go to unsweet tea. And the taste, it definitely took a little while to get used to, but otherwise it's not bad. For me, as long as I have sort of a cold drink of some sort, even if it's just cold water, I'm pretty set. And on that note, I haven't really had a soda in a long time either, which I'm pretty happy about. And I was in and out of Bill Miller in just a couple of minutes, and I actually took a look at the brief driving clip that I recorded from my phone to see how the shake is and see how the audio is. And I figured that it's going to be shaky a little bit because the mount itself for the $2 windshield mount, it's on the windshield very tight, as you would expect, but the actual mount for the phone, it's a little bit extended from the mount itself, so it is a little bit shaky, but it's actually not too bad. Right now I'm going down a highway at about 50 miles an hour. It's somewhat smooth, and according to the video from a couple miles back, it actually wasn't too bad, so I'm actually pretty impressed with this entire setup. And then the audio quality was pretty decent as well. Like I mentioned, it's not the clearest thing in the world, but I think with some equalizer changes, everything should be okay. So today, not really going to do a whole lot. I wanted to ride my bike for a couple hours, but the weather right now doesn't look like it's going to be that great. Maybe it'll not rain all day and I missed out on a ride, but it's not too bad. There's always going to be another day for that. I was actually going to go home, but I'm thinking about going to the Microsoft store, which is about 20 minutes away, to take a look at their laptop selection. So a couple months ago, I did a unboxing of an HP Envy laptop, which came from Costco. And I guess I can start my recording real quick. All right, so I just did my 3 loud claps to make sure that I can sync the Galaxy S7 video with the action cam video. So a couple months ago, I did an unboxing of an HP Envy laptop, and I tried that out, and there were just a number of small issues with it. And for something that cost $1,000, to me, it was unacceptable. So it had trackpad issues, it had keyboard issues, it had Wi-Fi issues, just a whole bunch of small things. It looked good, but and the value was great. 16 gigs of RAM, 512 gig SSD for $999 at Costco. 4-year warranty. Great deal overall. But the laptop itself was just not that good. I just could not get myself to use it, so I took it back. So in addition to the Envy, I tried the HP Spectre X360. I actually tried 5 of those, but they also had keyboard issues, USB Type-C issues. The trackpad to me was the worst part about it, because even if you give it a light tap, it would make a noise as though it's loose. So I just couldn't really take it anymore. So after 5 of those, I stopped. I tried a Dell, I tried an Asus laptop, Asus, I'm sure somebody's going to mention how I pronounced them, but I usually pronounce them as Asus. Anyway, so I've tried about 4 to 5 different laptops, and I actually, right now, I'm using a 2015 Retina MacBook Pro, and the only thing that's installed on it is Windows. So I cleared every Mac OS related partition, and I only installed Windows 10, and it's extremely nice, actually, I must say. Given the crappy laptops I've used so far, and given how they're all over $1,000 and they still aren't that good, I think it's safe to say that even a MacBook is the best Windows laptop that you can buy. Which sounds really fanboyish, but just given all the things that I've used so far, that just seems to be the case, because there's literally nothing about the 2015 MacBook Pro that I'm using that I don't like. The keyboard is great, the trackpad is absolutely the set standard, as have MacBook Pro trackpads been for several years now. And even with Windows, even without Trackpad++, the trackpad works extremely well. But once you do install Trackpad++, you get all of the gestures, 3 to 4 finger gestures, 2 fingers swipe to go back, and a number of different things that work really well with Windows. So if the next laptop that I'm going to try out, which is the Yoga 720, 13 or the 15 inch, I'm not sure yet, but if that doesn't work out, then I think I'm going to have to either stick with the 2015 MacBook Pro that I'm using, or I might just buy a new non-touch bar MacBook Pro, because there's just nothing that can be any better in terms of hardware quality, which is really something that's important to me, because I don't want to spend $1,000 on a laptop only to have these random issues. And every single non-Apple laptop I've used since I sold my 2012 MacBook Air, every single one of them has had some sort of issue. So if the Yoga 720 doesn't work out, I might have to spend quite a bit of money on another MacBook, which I didn't really want to have to do as I'm moving away from the Apple ecosystem. Right now I'm using nothing Apple related, but if getting a MacBook Pro gets me the good quality laptop that I want without having to deal with Mac software, since I would only put Windows on it, then that I think would be a good compromise, because I really don't want to have some expensive laptop to have these random issues like I've been mentioning. So definitely looking forward to the Yoga 720. I'm waiting for that one to, whoops, that's a left turn only lane. Waiting for that one to come out. The 15-inch model is actually kind of interesting. I think it's about $1,250, which sounds like a lot, but for the 15-inch model, you're getting a quad-core processor. So it's 4 cores, multi-threaded, the Kaby Lake i7-7700 HQ, I believe it is. You get 8 gigs of RAM, a 256 gig PCI Express NVMe SSD, and the graphics side of things is actually a GTX 1050, which compared to the integrated HD 620 graphics are miles ahead. So you are able to do a little bit of gaming. It'll help with some 3D graphics and video editing here and there. So, and that's only a little bit more than the 13-inch, but then the question is, do I really want a 15-inch version or a 13-inch laptop that I've been sort of focusing on for years? So we'll have to see. I know I've been rambling on for a couple of minutes, but right now I'm just driving to get to a road, which will then connect to a highway, which will then allow me to go to the Microsoft store and check out some of their laptops that they might have in stock. According to their website, they don't really have a whole lot of decent options as far as 13-inch laptops go. So I'm definitely wanting something with a touchscreen, and I would even more like something that has a 360-degree hinge, so I can fold the screen all the way back into a sort of tent mode for viewing media easily. And on an airplane, it's probably the best way to go. Of course, going to a MacBook Pro, it doesn't have any of those things, so I'd be losing out there. But if everything else on the laptop is good, the keyboard, the trackpad, the USB ports, everything else is good, then I think it would be worth it. Anyway, it's going to be about 20 minutes until I get to the Microsoft store. I probably won't spend too much time there. I might walk around a little bit and see what's happening. It's been a while since I've been to La Cantera, which is the outdoor shopping area where this is. There's also an Apple store. There's a Six Flags nearby as well. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video here, but keep the action cam going so I can record some stuff. I might do a little time lapse of the entire drive there. So it's going to be about another 15 miles or so. So I'll go ahead and see you at the Microsoft store. Alright everyone, I am back on your screens. We should be to the Microsoft store in about 5 minutes. Now I did notice earlier in the previous clip that the video was actually out of focus for some reason, so hopefully that's fixed now. I think I may have tapped an area on the screen while I was putting it on my windshield mount so that it disabled the autofocus feature. So hopefully it's better now. And should be there in about 5 minutes. I think I'm actually going to go the long way into the shopping area because I want to go around Six Flags to see how busy they are on the first day of April. I do have a season pass to Six Flags. I've only gone there once so far since I bought it at the beginning of the year. Or it may have been, no, it was at the end of last year, okay. So we will see how busy they are. I might stop by next week if the weather is okay, and I'll take y'all along with me. I think the most impressive part about this, as I alluded to earlier, is that the microphone is actually pretty decent. It was 10 bucks on eBay, free shipping, came with a little faux leather carrying pouch as well, so it's actually a pretty good deal. The actual housing for the microphone itself is made out of metal, so it does seem like it's a decent quality product as well. So now we're going to get on I-10 for just a brief amount of time. So the area of San Antonio I'm in now is actually on the north side of town. Looks like some of the rides at Six Flags are open. You should be able to see it from the action cam. So there's quite a bit of stuff here. There's the University of Texas at San Antonio. There's an indoor skydiving place that I just went by. Of course, we have the outdoor shopping mall, the Six Flags. We have another shopping area on the right side of I-10, which has the Bass Pro Shops and IMAX movie theater and some other shopping areas. So there's quite a bit out in this one little area. I'm gonna get off at the next exit and then we'll head up to the Six Flags entrance and see what everything looks like. Of course, from the camera out the window, it probably won't show that much, but we'll see what it shows. I noticed on the phone when I'm recording at 1080p 60, it says that the maximum recording time is 10 minutes at a time, which is a little bit disappointing because during times like right now where I'm driving and sort of rambling on, sometimes I might go for beyond 10 minutes and the recording's gonna stop and I'm never gonna know, since I can't actually see what the screen looks like because I'm actually using the rear-facing camera of the phone. It's been a couple of months since I've been down this way. I'd say actually about a month and a half or so, I think. Oh, and the reason I didn't really show so much of the Bill Miller barbecue place when I got my tea a little while ago is that there are quite a few old people in there. I didn't really want to hold a camera moving around showing stuff, so I didn't bother, it's kind of bumpy there, showing too much. Then also, as I mentioned earlier, the mount's a little bit shaky for the phone, especially when I'm going over a brief portion of brick road like that. So it's probably pretty shaky, but once it's smoother, it's actually pretty smooth. So I should have rotated the camera to the left a little bit so you can maybe see the theme park a little bit, but we'll go there eventually. I think the water park actually opens up eventually as well, so I can maybe do some underwater tests with the SJ5000X action camera. Should be at the outdoor mall any moment. Right now I'm just driving around the parking lot a little bit because you can see the backside of the Six Flags theme park from here. And then just up ahead a little bit is the top of the Superman roller coaster, which is a pretty fast and good roller coaster that we have here. So you can see the top portion before it drops down. And here we see Superman on top of the very tall loop. And in the background, you can actually see the up and down ride. I don't remember what that's called. All right, so I'm walking around the outdoor mall right now. It's been, according to Swarm, I haven't been here since December. Right now I'm talking at a reasonable volume right now, and hopefully it's loud enough. And I actually just checked into the Apple store. I plan on going there. I checked in on Swarm, and it says I haven't been there since September of 2014, so it's definitely been a while. Not a bad temperature right now to be out here. This screen was not here the last time I was here. That's kind of nice. Here's the Microsoft store with the Apple store right across the street. We're gonna go to the Microsoft store first and check it out. Love the feel of the trackpad. I like what the red one looks like. If only they had a red one with a fingerprint sensor on it. This Toshiba isn't too bad, but the trackpad feels really cheap. Everything else isn't too bad. Of course, we have the Dell XPS 13, which is a great laptop. Pretty decent trackpad. Not too noisy when you tap on it even lightly, but no 360-degree screen, which is definitely something I'm interested in getting. And then we have the Surface Book, which looks great, but the screen wobble is just insane. Way too much screen wobble. Keyboard looks great, it feels great as well. Obviously incredibly expensive. The Lenovo's look nice. I really do like the way the hinge looks, and it's a pretty stable screen, but that tiny right shift key cannot be excused. So that was the Microsoft store. As you can see, we're going to go into the Apple store, which is right here. Let's see, zero interest in iPhones, zero interest in iPads, and here are the MacBooks. So let's see what we have. These are the Touch Bar models, which I think are completely useless, so they're not interested in these at all, because I just don't like the idea of having to look down at the touch bar to see what you're trying to do. Whereas if you had the actual function keys, you know exactly where each one is at. Definitely versatile, but not really something I'd like. So it's me again. There's a little bit of wind blowing towards me, so it's interesting to see if the microphone blocks that out enough. It does have the little windscreen thing on it, but walking around holding a phone with my hand that's looking at me, it's definitely a little bit different. And I'm going to turn it back around because people are starting to come into this direction. It's definitely a little bit different having the camera showing at me. So I'm not really sure how much of the vlogs are going to be looking at me when I'm not driving, because it's definitely kind of weird doing that, and I don't think I can get used to it. So I'd rather just walk around having the camera facing forward. It's a pretty interesting parking lot because you can hear people screaming on the rides at the Six Flags, which you should be able to see. And then here is my ride, a 2017 Toyota Tacoma in quicksand. And while I'm in here, I guess I can show you guys a little interior tour. So obviously this is the dashboard. I'm averaging 22.9 miles per gallon for this tank, and I've gone 150 miles. Only used barely a quarter tank, so this truck actually gets pretty good gas mileage. Now I'm pretty light on the throttle anyway, so that definitely helps. And sometimes if I'm going downhill, I'll switch it into neutral to get a little bit of extra gas mileage from it. Here we have a review unit. This is the Just Mobile air vent mount. So I think it's 25 bucks, so it's not really that affordable compared to similar options that are practically the same. This is a review unit. Typically I use this magnetic one, which is a Spigen product that I reviewed several months ago. Works very well. Then here we have the main entertainment unit. So this is the radio screen, apps, navigation. Here's what the navigation UI looks like. The screen's flickering quite a bit. So this is the radio screen. This truck came with a 3-month trial of Sirius XM, but I have a phone with unlimited data, and as long as I have internet of some sort, I can listen to whatever I want. So I primarily just listen to FM radio stations, some hit radio stations, classic rock, modern rock, things like that. This is pretty much a screen I'm on all the time, but the system itself is very responsive and it works very well. Pretty happy with it overall. You can even view weather information in addition to weather maps right here. So it looks like some rain is entering the area, so I really do wish I could have rode my bike today, but there's always other days. And then here I have my car charger, a free Anchor quick charge 3.0 supported car charger. Right now that is plugged into my SJ5000X action camera to keep it charged. And then here we have a $2 windshield mount that I mentioned earlier. And also, since this is the off-road trim of the Toyota Tacoma, we do have a integrated GoPro mount. If my camera would focus on it, there we go. So that's kind of cool. It actually came in handy for this little action camera. Works perfectly fine with GoPro mounts. And that's really it as far as things to show. So let's go ahead and head on out of here. All right, so it's approximately 8 past 12. Just going by a brand new Maserati. You might be able to see that out of my driver's side window. Anyway, so as you just saw, we went to the Microsoft store real quick to take a look at what they have for laptops. The selection hasn't really changed since the last time I've been to a Microsoft store a couple of months ago. So I'll just have to wait and see what the Yoga 720 is like. But I am very, very impressed with the Surface Pro 4. Even the type cover feels good. The keys are very sturdy. The trackpad, it's a little bit small, but it otherwise feels really smooth and it feels very MacBook-like. The Surface Pro tablet itself, I really do like the stand that comes built into it. It's very strong, and even when you detach the keyboard from it and you have it sort of at a 20-degree angle to sort of use the tablet on just a surface or something like that, to have it lifted up just a little bit, even that is very stable. So, and the fact that it includes the stylus, the very precise stylus, is just a nice bonus. I just wish that they would include the type cover, even the most basic type cover, with the Surface Pro 4. Maybe they're going to have some sort of bundle sale once the Surface Pro 5 comes out, which hopefully isn't too long from now, because that's the one I really am interested in. Because if they could give it modern Kaby Lake processors, even though there's not that much of a performance boost between the 7th gen and the 6th gen products, at least it has the new stuff. I'd also like to have USB Type-C ports, since I already have a couple of USB Type-C accessories. So it's going to get really bumpy in a couple of seconds because of this little intersection here. These are some nice apartments that they built next to the outdoor mall. Can't imagine how expensive they are, but I don't really want to do the apartment living thing anymore. Hopefully I can save enough money living with my parents for the next couple of years to get my own house. So I think it's almost time for lunch. Not really sure what I have in mind. I'm thinking Pollo Tropical sounds pretty good, and there's actually one right over here, but I think I'm going to skip on that one for now. Go to one closer to home. Maybe get a chicken ranch wrap with a guava bar, and I'll show you guys what all that looks like. But yeah, this is, like I said, the first time I've ever vlogged before. I don't even watch. She didn't even look to the left. So if I was up to where she was coming out at, she would have ran into me. But yeah, I don't really watch people who vlog. The people I do watch don't vlog too often, so pretty much the only vlog type stuff I have to go off of are their videos. I don't really watch popular vloggers either. I don't watch popular YouTubers in general, except for just a couple who I've been watching for a very long time. But I think given this setup, I'm actually pretty happy. So definitely let me know what you guys think about this entire setup. I might play around with the resolution options a little bit. Right now, everything is being recorded at 1080p at 60 frames per second, which is really going to increase render times versus just 1080p at 30 frames per second. But I personally like the extra smoothness in videos. The next resolution I might try would be 1440p, because both my phone and the action camera are able to do that. I can't do 4K because the action camera doesn't do true 4K. So it's not going to look as clear as it should, especially compared to the Galaxy S7's 4K capabilities, which actually look pretty decent. So now we're going to get on the highway, which looks like it's a little bit slow right now. Hopefully it won't be too bad. And I will see you guys in a little while once I figure out what I want for lunch. So I was actually on the way to the Pollo Tropical, and the Petco near home is actually doing dog adoptions. They seem to do this almost once a month, typically on a Saturday, and it's a Saturday, first of the month, so let's go ahead and see what they got. So that was kind of nice. They had quite a few dogs. They had a lot more than the last time they had a dog adoption here, so that's always nice. Lots of small ones. I would definitely lean more towards the smaller dogs, because that way they're younger, they get to know the owners a little bit more. They'll maybe be a little bit more loyal. So. So that is Pollo Tropical. I totally forgot to record the outside of it with my phone, but you can see some of it now on the action cam side of things. But what I had was the chicken Caesar wrap, which is about 3 something. It's nothing large, or it's not too small either. And then I had the guava bar, as I mentioned earlier. But I typically have the same thing when I go in there for lunch. It's quick and easy, it's somewhat filling, and it's good and affordable. It's not really junk food or anything like that. It's just a nice wrap with some chicken in it, a little bit of Caesar dressing, some lettuce. Not too bad. Aside from the chicken Caesar wrap, I often have the Tropic Chop, which is sort of a mixed bowl of rice, vegetables, meats, and some other stuff. I'm gonna fit it right here. There we go. So my phone says it actually has only a couple more minutes of record time left, so I'm pretty much out of space. So I think I'm gonna head on home, which I'll be there in about 10 minutes. I'll dump everything off the phone, take a look at it, and then we will, I guess I will go ahead and put the vlog together. In terms of other stuff that's gonna happen today, not really a whole lot planned. If any of you have been following me for a while, you know that I might be If any of you have been following me for a while, you know that I am a fan of motorsports, and today there is a NASCAR race on TV, there's a Formula E race on TV, and then there is the Monster Energy Supercross Series on TV tonight, in addition to hockey, so I like that as well. And there is a Dallas Stars game on TV today as well. So there's quite a bit of things on TV to take a look at starting in 1 hour from now. It's currently 3 minutes until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm gonna head on home. Not gonna do a whole lot for the rest of the day except watch TV and play some games. Maybe I'll record some footage of my Rocket League and Overwatch, since those are the 2 games that I play the most currently. Great games, I'll speak to those once I actually get to playing those. As I mentioned earlier, I do live with my parents, so they have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm not gonna be talking to myself when I'm in the house, so there won't be a whole lot to say. But there should still be plenty of things to show through screen recordings on my computer and maybe some voiceovers later on. So we'll just have to see how all that goes. But for day 1, I'm pretty impressed with the setup. Everything seems to be working as it should.